Good morning, everyone. Today is the 22nd of June. It's about 7 o'clock in the morning here. Well, you know, Christ had some very unusual teachings, and his teachings were something that we can utilize today to apply in our own lives. I want to talk about two of those teachings this morning. I've called this video Making Friends of Unrighteous Mammon. Making Friends of Unrighteous Mammon. We find in Luke 16 verse 9, Christ speaking says, I say unto you, make to yourselves friends of the mammon of unrighteousness, that when you fail they may receive you into everlasting habitations. A lot of people wonder, well, why are you in the silver and gold brokerage business? Well, I'm applying that principle. I'm making friends of unrighteous mammon, that when I fail, I'll have a way of continuing to exist, right? When they bring digital money currency on it, I'll be able to cash in some of my silver and gold, right? But I say unto them that silver and gold have I none, but Jesus Christ. I command you to be healed, remember? The second principle that I want to talk about is found in Matthew 17:27. Christ talking again, and he says, notwithstanding, lest we should offend them, go thou to the sea and cast a hook and take up the fish that first cometh up, and when thou hast opened his mouth, thou shalt find a piece of money. That take and give unto them for me and thee. Christ paid his taxes. I believe in paying my taxes. But there are benefits in being in your own business, because you get a lot of tax write-offs. You know, you can write off your travel expenses, your gasoline, your office expenses, your copying expenses, your postage expenses, your insurance, your all of your expenses to run your business. You can write it off. That's like taking a coin out of the fish's mouth. I've had a business for over 27 years. And I've reaped the benefits of having those tax breaks over the years. And I would recommend that you get in your own business and build your own business. Work on your own projects. Don't cowtail to some other person. You know. But anyway, this going back to Luke 16:9, I say unto you, make to yourselves friends of mammon of unrighteousness. That doesn't mean that you have to compromise your beliefs. That doesn't mean that you have to change your values. That's not making friends of unrighteous mammon. Making friends of unrighteous mammon just means you're doing business with unrighteous mammon. You know, it's called commerce. I don't approve of everything that the companies that I'm aligned with. I don't approve of their values and stuff like that. But, you know, back to the principle. The principle is that they may receive you into everlasting habitations. You know, by the sweat of your brow you shall eat. You know. So that's my explanation as to why I'm in the silver and gold and brokerage business, okay? And if you all are interested in knowing more about that, I posted a link to my website on all my social medias. I have nothing to hide. I can just hear people now, oh, Larry Phillips has gotten in the silver business. Larry Phillips loves money. He's commingling his business with his ministry. Well, first of all, it's not my ministry. And it's not my business. God owns it all. Okay? It says, I got a kick out. I was talking to a fellow the other day, and he says, there's certain people I choose not to do business with. And I never told him, but he, even the bounds of his habitation are under God's command, under God's directive. He doesn't have the power to control who he does business with and who he doesn't. That's in God's hands. That's not in his hands. Again, playing little God, right? Anyway, that's kind of what's on my mind this morning. So be sure you take the coin out of the fish's mouth. Be sure you pay your taxes and get the benefits of having tax breaks by being in business for yourself. And my admonition and exhortation to you is make friends of unrighteous mammon and invest in silver and gold, because they're going to try to implement a cashless society and digital currency. At least you'll have something to fall back on. Hope you all have a good day. God bless. And keep smiling.